Hi.
Bro, this shit is
Yo, we got
legit.
tables? What the fuck?
For those who were born to ride,
Yeah, look.
there's progressive.
There's a ventilation button right here.
Ventilation?
Where is it? In the middle. You tap it once for
It's
hot.
interesting what happens.
See it?
When you treat every little piece
So if it
of
turns
thing
red, it's hot. If it turns blue, it's cold.
like it's not just one thing, but everything.
Yellow means it's cold.
Because when each
Wow.
has everything ready.
Oh my ass!
Imagine.
All right,
What's up, guys?
so we're back from the movies. Just saw the Sonic movie.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Let's skip the little banter. The movie was good. I really liked it. And I can see why it's on top right now in the box office. I don't know, man. These other movies just ain't doing it. But this movie was definitely fun. Fun experience. So what we're going to do here is first we're going to go into a general sense of what we thought of the movie without spoiling anything. And then we're going to have a section where we go into spoilers. So I'll probably put a timestamp here to show you where the spoilers start. And we'll notify you when we get into it too. But general thoughts on the movie?
For me, I'd get probably out of a 10 scale. I'd probably give this movie a solid 8. Pretty good, like an 8. Definitely a very enjoyable movie. A good storyline concept. You know. Some good acting from Jim Carrey. Obviously, you know, I was expecting a good performance from him.
I think me and Chris can agree. Our favorite part about this movie was Jim Carrey.
Yeah, for sure.
I did like some of the action in this movie, but some of it was hard for me to look at because, I don't know, my eyes are mass sensitive to fast moving shit. So take that as you will.
For me, I think, like,
It's hard to tell.
There was I guess you can say action scenes, but they were not really action. There was
Yeah.
just like like some slow motion CGI that's going on, stuff.
This
like
was
that.
definitely not like focused on action, but it was there. It was definitely there. You can't have like a Sonic movie without action of some kind, I feel like. But overall, this movie definitely for me, especially as a Sonic fan, did justice to Sonic. They
For
did
sure, yeah.
justice to his design, his character, and even the lore of, the Sonic universe.
Yeah, it was very interesting how they, how
There was
movies-
a lot of homages to the games, and like just like Sonic himself, I think, in this movie. A lot of Easter eggs, I guess you could say, and I'm sure there's probably a video out there going over all the little Easter eggs that were in this movie.
Yeah, definitely spotted a few of those, but yeah, it was just very interesting to see how they interpreted this movie into like a real life scenario or whatever, like a real life movie or whatever. It's like there's stuff in there that doesn't specifically tie into maybe the show if you were like familiar with the show or the games. You know, it's just more of like their own telling of the story kind of.
Yeah, I expected that because honestly, there's no real concrete like one story of Sonic. There's a lot of different interpretations of Sonic out
anime,
there.
they had like a whole thing
Bro,
going on.
Sonic has an anime or has a cartoon. It has a comic book series. Then it has some of the games with their own stories. Like it's all over the place. There's no real like concrete storyline to Sonic. There's just the characters.
But nonetheless, they did a good job
Yeah.
of telling their own story of it. So
Yeah, they did their thing here, interpreting the Sonic story and paying respects to the source material. It did good. If you're a Sonic fan, you would 100%, in my opinion, enjoy this movie.
definitely.
If you're a Jim Carrey fan, you will 100% enjoy this movie.
Yeah, he
Jim
did
Carrey?
Eggman justice for sure. The character.
Bro, honestly, yeah, I thought it was gonna be more Jim Carrey than actual Eggman, but I like how
he fit. Yeah.
in this movie, the writing, it seems like they wanted to make Eggman out to be like this really cocky, like he looks.
Alright, don't go into spoilers now about it.
I'm not going into spoilers. I'm describing his character in the movie, bro. Come on.
Exactly, that's spoilers.
He was a very cocky character. Like he had this very high standards to himself, and he looked beneath a lot of other people around him. But yeah, we'll save that for the spoilers segment of the review. But I really like that. It wasn't just Jim Carrey. There was a hint of Eggman in there too, because I know that's some concern that some people may have. that he's just being Jim Carrey, which he was, and it was funny as hell. But there is a character to Eggman, you know, in the writing.
Like I said, yeah, he did this character justice and made it his own. Yeah, but
the writing and the acting.
Mm-hmm. I think that's about it for like the non-spoiler thing. Now I guess we could talk about more about like what our favorite scenes were and stuff like that.
So if you don't want to be spoiled, guys, click off the video here. We're gonna go into a lot of detail, a lot of good shit to talk about, bro. So let's start from the beginning. It was weird. To me, it was weird, the whole lore that they went into at the beginning with Sonic.
First of all, did we see the fact that Sonic's caretaker or mother was an owl?
Yes, we saw that.
All right, I'm just making sure we all saw that. What the fuck was that? But yeah,
that was weird.
Actually, that first scene was actually really good to me. Like the movie actually started off with some action in it, and it was really interesting. Like,
yeah, again, it's its own story, so I don't mind them adding lore in there.
So as soon as the movie started, it was very interesting from the start because we get pretty much Sonic as a kid in his world, you know.
Yeah.
And he has this caretaker who is like an owl or something, blah blah blah, is trying to protect her.
Yeah.
Protect him. And then right off the bat, we just get some action with his mother going into protection mode, trying to protect her from, which was interesting to see the fucking Knuckles clan, the Enchiladas or whatever the hell.
The Enchiladas. We don't know
how they're. What
I don't know.
I know they have a race name though.
I don't know if it is the Echidnas.
It is them, bro. It is.
It's the Echidnas. Come on.
It's obvious that there was that.
It looked like them, but they had masks on and everything. You couldn't really see them, but it did look like a tribe-ish kind of group. So that's my only assumption, that this tribe was like part of the Echidnas. Yeah, because they kind of looked like it with the eyes too.
Yeah. So I don't know where I said it, but I know I said it somewhere. But talking about what kind of like how they're gonna make Sonic come from a different dimension, because you know in the cartoon that's how they did it. Like he came from another dimension type shit. So like I was actually right about that. He did come from another dimension. But the interesting part was how he did it, which they incorporated the rings from Sonic, the games, you know, those rings everybody loves. You get hit in Sonic, you lose all your rings, blah, blah, blah. They incorporated the rings.
There's actually more to it than just the collectible rings. In the actual game, there is a warp ring that takes you into like a bonus level.
Oh, really?
So that's where they got it from.
That's probably where they got it from, yeah. Some like one of the games, you know. But yeah, that was interesting. Games. I guess, yeah. For me, like when I first saw it, I thought it was something original that they thought of, but I guess that is something from the games. But it was cool to see, nonetheless.
They still put a twist on it because there is like, you know, the rings in the games are just for bonus levels, but it is like a teleporting thing. But yeah,
that was cool. And so yeah, that's how that pretty much starts off. He goes to Earth. He pretty much goes to Earth and lives a life where nobody knows him or whatever, you know. And it was just cool to see that he actually became friends with some like the cop guy.
Yeah, he at first he's like he doesn't know anyone, but he just spies on everyone because he's bored out of his fucking mind. Like he's all alone. That was a big thing that they hammered in about Sonic's character. He felt alone. He had no friends.
Exactly.
He was an outsider in this world.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it doesn't matter because wherever he goes, people are gonna be after his power. Because it happened here too. I was gonna say that first scene was mad funny where he was running past the speedometer thing in the car, and then he went back to check his record.
He was literally just trying to freaking see how fast he could move on that thing. But I think that literally the speedometer only went up to 300. That's why I was only going out there.
Yeah,
but freaking yeah, that was
300 miles per hour, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, okay, so let's move on to the next scene. So soon enough, Sonic, he gets emotional thinking about how he's all alone, and he goes crazy on the baseball field, blows a whole like fucking outage.
Yeah, I mean we don't have to go like, you know.
I'm just explaining. I know. I'm explaining real quick so we can jump into the next things we want to talk about. But yeah, after that they bring in Dr. Eggman, or Robotnik they're first calling him, which is interesting. That detail right there. He's originally called Dr. Robotnik. It's Sonic that gives him the name Eggman, which is I think is a little cool detail there.
Yeah.
Because you know, in the United States, that's what they first called him, Dr. Robotnik. Yeah. His name was always Eggman in the Japanese versions, though. So that was a cool way to mix them together. Yeah.
They did good. Jim Carrey comes in with a fucking good ass performance, bro. As soon as he comes in, I just start laughing. As soon as he
comes in, like, bro, his entrance was like
everything about Jim Carrey is just so funny. Like to what he says, to his facial expressions, to his body language. Like
that's the thing. It's hard to explain, especially after we just watched the movie, why Jim Carrey was so funny in this movie. You just have to watch it. Like there's certain stuff that you can't
Yeah.
explain. You just watch it. Like he's doing the stupid dances like this, listening to dumbass music.
It's like you would, because like when you see the trailer, you would think that we're gonna get just a regular old classic Jim Carrey funny thing, which we did. But at the same time, he gave us like an actual character. Like he gave us a new movie, bro. He gave us a whole new character. Like he did it, bro. He did that.
Damn, man. This is to me, it seems like Jim Carrey's comeback movie to his old style, at least. That's what it feels like to me, because this movie is blowing up right now. But yeah, man, as soon as he comes in, kills it.
Yeah, the main role character, I've seen him in movies before and shows, and he's a good actor. I don't know his name, but his role was pretty good as well in the show, I guess.
The main character?
Yeah, his interactions with Sonic. I think for me, his roles weren't that funny, but his interaction with Sonic was the main thing of his role for this goal.
Yeah.
The friendship with him and Sonic. I thought that was really good at the end, how they tied that together. They actually made it a heartfelt moment where Sonic was about to leave and he didn't want to because it was his friend or whatever, blah blah blah. You know, and then yeah, it was a good relationship they had between the movies. So
yeah, there was some funny parts even without Jim Carrey. There was one part.
Yeah, there was definitely.
There was one part I remember where Sonic's being mad stupid, like, Dr. Robotnik's like robots are in this guy's house, and they're like hiding, and then he sneaks up behind the bookcase, and then he's like, no,
Oh, yeah.
and then he looks at him with a
And
dumbass face. He's like.
I got this.
It's not funny.
Sonic does that.
And it didn't have to do anything with the voice acting. It was just the animation.
It was cool to see that they actually show too that Sonic is super fast, but at the same time like super not weak, because like it was funny. They were showing like how he was punching this big guy and he wasn't doing anything. He was literally trying to break a bottle over somebody's head and he didn't even have the strength to do that. So it's not about Sonic's strength. It's literally about his speed. That's what gives him power.
For real.
So
Which kind of confused me. So he's not strong, but when he goes fast and runs into something,
it's for power, you know. Like
how the fuck does he not break though? Like,
come on, bro.
He's strong.
That's Sonic the Hedgehog, bro.
I mean, it's a Sonic movie. Why am I asking these questions?
But yeah, one of the funniest interactions in the movie was not all it was Jim Carrey, but the interactions with Jim Carrey and his assistant, I swear to God, it was the funniest parts. Like, yeah, it was so funny with his assistant, bro.
His assistant, I don't know what it is. His assistant like reminds me of like some funny characters that are just like, I don't know, like his dynamic with Jim Carrey, because Jim Carrey, his character is this like, you know, Dr. Robotnik is this arrogant ass character, and then there's this soft ass assistant that's like mad submissive,
like
and
pushing him around and
yeah,
shit, the whole movie using him as like pretty much gag fucking comedy.
For real. Bro, he's stupid. He went. What was it? He went to go shake his hand, and then he goes, hits him in the throat.
Left yourself open.
It's just random shit like that had me fucking dying, yo. Yeah, that dynamic too. It's sad too because towards the end of the movie, like, you know, he gets sent into another dimension, and now he doesn't have his assistant anymore.
No, man, that's Dr. Eggman. You can't feel sorry for him for all this shit he was doing. But I thought it was cool how it ended with Eggman pretty much getting teleported to like this other the Mushroom Kingdom or the dimension.
Yeah, that was one of the Easter eggs too. First of all,
about that, we don't know that for sure.
Come on,
man. You're talking about like the other shit is not may not be an Easter egg, but this is. Like, you're freaking an idiot.
What other Easter egg?
The fucking shit with the Knuckles tribe, you idiot. You're telling me that shit is not fucking something and this is?
Because this is obvious. Like, they know what they're doing, these writers. They even had a part in this movie where that dumbass guy who was like the only one who actually saw Sonic and believed he was there, he had like this dumbass drawing, and it was like that fucking dumbass meme drawing of Sonic. Who they call him Sonic? You know, that old meme drawing, which I thought was pretty funny because like the Sonic team and like at least the people who manage the social media accounts for Sonic, they're always embracing like the memes of Sonic. They embrace all the shit that gets made fun of about Sonic, so that's pretty cool. They threw that in there. But there was a lot of Easter eggs like that. I do believe when he said about this dimension that they were talking about, this mushroom dimension.
I thought about it and I told him that, but I don't know if it's true or not.
It might have been a reference to Mario. Especially when he said, "I hate mushrooms." You know, like, come on.
That's mad vague though. You can't say that means that though. Like,
Sonic and look, man, Sonic and Mario's fucking rivalry goes down in history, bro. Like, I'm not surprised that would be a reference.
The ending with that after credit scene, we saw Tails. That was pretty cool. Freaking, I didn't expect that, honestly. Like,
that shit made me so happy, man, because this whole first movie was just like not anything to do with Sonic besides Sonic and Eggman. So seeing some of the other characters,
just think about, first of all, just try to think of the movie in a whole and how it was, right? The build up, the whole story. Like, now we just know in our head we have a story of an actual Sonic in the real world, and he came here from another planet, and now the people from his other planet are coming to find him. Like, that shit is hot.
This shit is set up so good,
they
yo.
Built it good, bro. And that's why it's doing so good. And people are gonna watch that and want to see the sequel for sure.
Bro, Tails looks so good at the end credit scene too. Just saying,
yeah,
like the CGI on him looks equally as good as Sonic's CGI.
We were freaking talking about how imagine how ugly he would have looked before, like they did the reanimation, because you know they obviously did redid Tails if they.
I need to see that. If there is an existing Tails before the redesign, I want to see that shit.
Seriously,
that is probably fucking hilarious. I don't know. Maybe they just kept them like that. No, they couldn't have. It's way too like a certain style.
Yeah, but
that's funny as hell. And the voice actor was really good too. From the little bit I've heard of it, definitely fits Tails. And I was worried about that because in the video games they got like this child actor to fucking play Tails. That was whack.
Yeah,
but yeah,
his voice actor was definitely really good.
Yeah, better than the games too. I really like the voice actor.
And Sonic's voice actor was really good too. Like, he fit Sonic very well as well. Like, it really felt like it was Sonic talking to me throughout that whole movie, like from the like cartoons and shit and like all that.
Yeah,
like, it sounded just like him.
I like the voice actor for Sonic too. I've seen some of his interviews. He said he went back and played Sonic 2 just to get into character a little more, and he beat the game.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Fucking dumb. But yeah, they couldn't have gotten a better person, honestly. He fits the role, in my opinion.
Anything else to talk about in the movie?
Not really, bro. Really good movie. Yeah. I'm just saying that.
And also, let's just put in the fact that like the animation in this movie was really good, but I felt like it may have probably could have been better if they didn't have to like go back and redo things, because like I did notice small things, like it was like don't get me wrong, everything looked really good and everything was like believable and shit, but you could notice I got a little bit. I don't know if you could notice that, but like some of the parts was like
scenes.
I don't know. It's just like like the action scenes with the I don't know. I mean, it's not. They were not really meant to make it like super like realistic. Like if they were shooting actual guns, but I'm talking about like when the robots are shooting guns, or there's explode a little explosion or something.
I don't know scenes. What kind of scenes you're talking about? Some of the scenes that stood out to me a little that could have been a problem transitioning into the new CGI were some of the moments where Sonic was being held by the actors. So as the main character mainly. It did look a little bit iffy sometimes.
You know what? It really did look iffy because the fact that when they did the redesign, right? The original Sonic was a lot taller and slinkier than the redesign was. So anytime you saw a scene where he was holding him, you can tell that Sonic kind of looked a little bit longer. I don't know if you noticed that, but he looked a little bit longer than he did when he was just regularly like.
Oh, you think they made him longer when he was being carried?
Yeah, because of the way his arms were positioned. Because probably the original was like bigger. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know about that.
I don't know. It's a stretch, but like I honestly think that he looked kind of weird every time he was holding him.
One of the
in a full frame.
There was one scene I mentioned to Chris and Anthony at the end when what's this fuck? I don't even know the main character's name, honestly. Like, he wasn't even a big part of the movie to me.
Was it Tim, Tom, or something?
It was, yeah. No, wasn't
or
Tom
did his dentist call him something else? I remember Eggman said a funny line where he was like, with his dentist call him something else. I forgot what his name was, honestly.
But yeah, a scene at the end where, he had his arm wrapped around his girlfriend. Shut up. Right. He had his arm wrapped around his girlfriend. Sonic was in the middle, but it kind of looked like he was leaving space in between him and his girlfriend while Sonic was in the middle, like this, like mad awkward. So I don't know.
Nigga, you're fucking dumb. It doesn't matter. Like even if that was a thing, why would he have his arm anywhere by Sonic if he was hugging his girl like around Sonic?
You're an idiot because the original CGI, he was taller. So I would imagine he did this, made extra space between him and the girl.
At the end of the day, he was still between them.
Yeah, but I don't know. It looked kind of weird. I don't know. There's something about it, bro. I think I don't know. I think it would have, if it was filmed that way because of Sonic's height, I think they could have make it look a little bit better there. So there's little things like that, but honestly, it's so minuscule that it doesn't even matter. It doesn't take anything away from the movie, in my opinion, because Sonic still looked great. I much prefer him with this design. So any little insignificant things like that doesn't matter. The movie was good. And I don't know, man. I'm trying to imagine a world where we had that original design and we still saw this movie. I don't think I would have liked it as much.
Obviously not, you idiot. The shit would have fucking definitely flopped if they didn't redo the redesign.
Yeah, but how would you feel about it?
I wouldn't think it was not good at all, honestly. I don't know. I don't know. It would
Jim
really
Carrey still.
No, even then though, bro. That I think would affect my impact on this the movie way too much for me to even think the movie's good if that character looked
Yeah,
because
it's so weird. Thing. Yeah.
If I honestly, bro, definitely would have not. It would have flopped for sure if he came out like that.
It would have took me out of it.
At the end of the day, you know, obviously they redid it for a reason, so they did.
Oh man, they listened to the
made
fans.
the right move.
Bro, this could change everything in like Hollywood type shit. Like listening to the fans on this level, if there is like this type of backlash, like people, producers, anyone might take this shit seriously now that they're seeing the success of Sonic. Like fan criticism, I'm saying. So that's interesting to see what might happen in that regard. But this might be a movie that makes history in some way, honestly.
I was just excited to see a sequel with Jim Carrey, and I thought it was funny that like he at the end of the movie his mustache grew extremely long, like actual character, and on top of that he shaved his head bald, so like he looked definitely more like Eggman. And I was talking about it with Anthony and my brother too. Freaking Jim Carrey's body type could easily be Eggman if he just gained a couple pounds in the stomach, because Eggman is awkwardly tall. And Jim Carrey could have that little stomach on the bottom and just look awkward like that. I'm telling you, perfect Eggman right there.
Yo, bro, that's another thing that makes this feel like such
give him a bodysuit or something.
That's another thing about this movie that makes it feel like such a beginning of Sonic type shit, where we see Eggman transform into the Eggman we know. Like, I like little details like that.
Exactly.
It kind of feels like it's starting. Like, it's building up to what we know. That's what I really like about this movie.
Shit, I could see a trilogy for this shit.
Probably, right? Second movie's gonna have Tails, and then when they come with the third movie, Knuckles is gonna come
Knuckles,
in.
Yeah, I could just see that.
Damn, yo.
With this shit,
I want to see Knuckles, yo. That would be hot.
And it was actually funny because we went to the movies, and you know, obviously you're gonna see a lot of younger kids watching this, and there was a lot of younger kids in the audience just eating this shit up. Like, they love this movie.
Dumbass kid with the rings.
There was kids that were so immersed into this shit, bro. When Sonic lost his rings, all I heard in the background was a kid like, "Oh no, the rings!"
That's not a joke. He's not exaggerating. Like, that was literally how we heard it.
He was definitely into the movie. But yeah. Definitely a very kid-friendly movie if you guys are younger, or if you're I doubt you have, if you're watching this you have kids, but if you do have kids, you would definitely want to bring them to go watch this movie, because it's definitely a kid-friendly, family-friendly movie.
It's a kind of movie that aims at everyone, which is probably why it's doing so well. And it succeeded at that, honestly.
It actually, you're right. It has a lot of kid jokes, and then at the same time, there were some other jokes that probably kids wouldn't get, like with a lot of some stuff that Jim Carrey's saying. Yeah,
they were cursing a little bit there at the end when this guy was fighting Eggman.
Did he?
Yeah, he was like, "You son of a," and then he hit him or some shit, something like that.
Nah, you're bugging.
No, yeah, that happened.
No, you're bugging out.
Just leave it in the comments.
Yeah, but that's about it, guys. Definitely a good movie. Go check it out if you haven't already.
Sonic's back, baby. Now all they gotta do is make good games. Back. Now all they gotta do is fix the games. Please, fix the games.
With this movie, they probably will sell a lot more merchandise.
Bro, I was so hyped because when the Sega logo came in, we saw Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and I was like, yo! And I'm just like, yo, come on, man, bring it back. Remake Sonic Adventure, please. Just make it good. Just make it better than it ever was, bro. That would be fucking hype. But yeah, man. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching our review. Thanks so much for watching the vlog. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves as always, and
peace.
Peace.